Community of Central African States, ECAS, amid rising tensions over the M23 rebel conflict in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, marks a significant shift in regional dynamics. This move raises important questions about peace, security, and cooperation in Central Africa. To explore the impact, we are joined on the line from Kigali by Dr. Frederick Golooba-Mutebi, a political scientist with special interests in political economy. Dr. Golooba-Mutebi, thank you for joining us. How are you this morning?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for making time to chat with us. What are the broader geopolitical implications of Rwanda's withdrawal from ECAS for regional stability in Central Africa?
I don't think that it's going to have any direct impact on regional stability because the conflict between Rwanda and the DRC has been going on for a long time, in spite of Rwanda being within that organization. And already, as we know, there is a two-track process that is ongoing to try and resolve that conflict, involving Qatar, involving the United States and Qatar on the one hand, and involving the East African community, even SADC on the other hand. So I think that those processes are not going to be affected by Rwanda's exit from ECAS, although what that exit demonstrates is that within ECAS itself there has been a degree of unanimity in condemning Rwanda's so-called undermining of DRC's territorial integrity. But as far as resolving that conflict is concerned, I'm not sure it's going to be affected at all.
So you feel that even the ongoing peace negotiations between Rwanda, the DRC and the M23 rebels won't be impacted?
They will not be impacted by Rwanda's decision to leave ECAS. There have been questions or even worries about the Doha process because the rebels have been threatening to leave every now and then because they feel the DRC government is not living up to its commitments. On the other hand, the process involving the United States, that seems to still be firmly on track. So Rwanda's decision has more to do with its own relationship with other members of that of ECAS collectively, but not individually. I think it has some very great bilateral relations with some of the countries in ECAS. But ECAS as an organization, I think, felt duty-bound to condemn Rwanda, quote-unquote, for its alleged interference in the DRC.
To what extent does Rwanda's accusation of, and I quote, instrumentalization, end quote, by the DRC within ECAS reflect deeper ethnic or historical grievances in the region?
It only reflects as much as concerned the troubled relationship between Rwanda and the DRC. Now, of course, within ECAS, DRC is a bigger country, more influential than Rwanda. Rwanda is pretty much on the periphery, geographical periphery of ECAS. The DRC is very centrally located within the geographical confines of member states of that community. So in that sense, the DRC was always going to be able to sway opinion within ECAS, and there are also rumblings that some international actors have been involved in this. And in the end, Rwanda felt that ECAS was being used politically by the DRC and therefore not living up to its own principles because its own treaties and principles have been violated. Rwanda was supposed to become the chair of this organization during the meeting in Malabo, but that was stopped by the DRC lobbying other countries to side with it, to frustrate it. So Rwanda felt, I think, treated unfairly, and it felt that ECAS is not standing up to its principles and it's allowing itself to be used politically by the DRC, and therefore they saw no reason to stay within that organization.
Could Rwanda's withdrawal from ECAS trigger similar moves by other member states? And if that would be the case, what would it mean for the future of regional integration?
As of now, there is no indication that it could trigger exit by other members, because ECAS has been rather consistent in calling on Rwanda to withdraw its troops from the DRC, while also sometimes trying to play neutral by calling for negotiations and trying to broker peace processes between Rwanda and the DRC. So it doesn't seem to me as if it's going to trigger another exit, or if there is one, I don't think it's going to be directly connected to what Rwanda has done.
If it did lead to that, what interventions do you think would be needed to ensure that there aren't ripple effects in terms of other member states leaving ECAS?
So far, this issue doesn't seem to have divided ECAS as an organization. Rwanda has been quite a bit isolated within that organization as far as its conflict with DRC is concerned, in that each time there have been discussions within the organization, Rwanda has usually been condemned. Now, one can see this as a collective stance of the organization ECAS, but it doesn't really say much about Rwanda's own bilateral relations with some of the countries that are members of ECAS. For instance, Rwanda is very instrumental in maintaining peace and training the armed forces of the Central African Republic. As far as I know, Rwanda has excellent bilateral relations with the Congo-Brazzaville and other members of ECAS, so I don't think that this is necessarily going to trigger any dissensions within ECAS itself that could lead to the departure of other members.
Doctor, let's leave it there for today. Thanks again for your time and joining us on Rise and Shine.
You're welcome.
Dr. Frederick Golooba-Mutebi joining us on the line there from Kigali. He's a political scientist.
Africa.